Welcome back to another Patch Note show. 3.19 is here. I don't even know what it's called though. Is it Tyrant of the Night? There you go. I just saw it on the screen. I didn't realize that, guys. Joining me today, as always, is going to be three guests. And it's the three guests you've seen a couple of times before. Ajax, Chaac, and Fishman there. We'll be bringing you all the action from this patch, as well as Pompon, who may or may not have skins and voice packs correct this week. We'll find out.
I had to buy something extra this week, so I hope I got it right.
Me too. Me too. How you doing, Pon, anyway? How's life?
I'm doing good. It's been a pretty good week.
Good. Not been fired yet, I see?
Yeah, no, not yet. I'm surprised after the last week.
Yeah, me too.
Dying.
Me too. Let's start things off with skins, because we've got a lot of skins this week. We've also got Halloween skins coming out, as well as we also have, alongside that, Odyssey skins coming, and a couple of masteries as well.
What are the skins?
We'll start at the
Give
top and
skin.
go off with Agni skin. Gemini Agni is going to be available in-game, part of the Odyssey here.
What?
And those masks look awesome.
That is sick.
Our card artists got it so good.
They're killing it lately.
This whole skin is amazing, actually.
So Chaac, talk me through like the idea behind where Gemini Agni came from.
So we were looking at doing a skin for Agni, and we wanted something that kind of had the same like Voidwalker Hebo.
That's actually a
Void something Hebo.
fucking awesome
Void
skin. What's up with his
Void
hair?
something Hebo.
Yeah, avoid something.
So we wanted that same
Agni
kind of
usually have
space
hair?
vibe.
That's actually
And
awesome.
so
I love the hair.
we came up with this guy.
Is
The
this
fact that
on
Agni
source?
normally is bald is very good that we've actually added hair to him this time. This is what it did look like.
Flows
with
around.
hair.
He's got some shining star objects for his meteor indicators. Ben Knapp did an awesome job with this crazy space skin.
The skin there, that texture is
it's
amazing.
It's actually a pretty good Agni
No,
skin.
he
Too
does have
bad
abilities
unless they
as
buff
well.
Agni.
And
no
he
one
has
cares.
got
Oh, he's
the
got swagger.
spacewalk.
The
Yeah,
moonwalk.
the swag.
I remember
swagger.
specifically bringing that one up in the meeting, saying this skin
Yep,
needs the
we have to have
moonwalk.
the swag moonwalk.
I'm a
Everyone
personal
misses it.
huge fan of the whole moonwalk.
Most people are, I think.
Week
I think
3
if
Hey,
and
what
say
about Austin?
Pendlehampton is a loser.
This skin is for you guys.
Oh, I won't do it. Thank you for the 4 months.
Oh, it looks like
Oh, that's
space.
fucking
Oh.
sick.
Of course.
Oh, that's
So
sick.
pretty.
Blow it up, Pon. Yeah.
It's so good.
Flames persistent again.
Oh,
Blue flames.
they actually changed an effect. Look at the fire. Oh, they
It's lovely
actually
and
made
blue.
a good skin. I'm so
Really
proud.
That's the main thing here.
Bluish purple cyan with a white accent.
That's very specific. It's pretty.
Oh man, that geometric thing that happened.
Yeah, I just saw that as well. And the
Yeah.
gas cloud as well.
Geodome
I feel like I'm in
ultimate explosion.
So
Very
here's where
cool.
we need the GM commands to reset the ammo.
Oh yeah. Rip.
Oh.
I know
Yeah,
it
it's
exists
actually it's actually very annoying.
Do some
Hey, another resub. What a
some
mic.
voice effects and stuff while
This is
we're
the resub
and
mic.
then we can
VGS
blow up some
commands.
more.
Astronomical!
That makes sense.
Astronomical! You are extraordinary.
What is up, Solo? The name?
Astonishing.
I misunderstood. Yeah, this is a good skin. Voice pack.
Did we manage to squeeze in a Uranus joke this time?
I hope not.
A light that I can easily
Honestly, I don't know.
That
There's
is stuck with
probably.
Infinity Wave. Oh boy.
That was
Oh,
it.
yeah, there you go,
Infinity Wave.
Infinity
Lazy eyes.
What
See,
kinds of
also-
songs do planets like to sing? Neptunes.
There
Why
you
does
go.
the moon
There it is.
rock? It's a little meteor.
Oh.
There's also a dance emote with Agni this patch as well. And we'll show it
great
on
laugh.
this
Oh, that is
skin
a good laugh.
while we're here.
Yeah, that is a pretty.
We'll do the laugh again.
Show
in
me
a
the
second. Do
dance.
for us. This is going to be available on all Agni skins if you purchase it here.
The fuck? Oh, I
Let me
didn't
do
know.
that.
Way to interrupt
doing?
it, Pon Pon.
I thought he was about to drop his kilt there for a
GG.
second.
He's gonna camera for us
Why
there.
don't
There
you
we
show
go.
some content on accident while
Yeah.
you're doing it?
Do you know the dance reference here, Chuck? Or is this just for fun?
I have no idea.
I do not know the dance reference either.
Twitch
I have
chat.
no
Which
idea.
dance is this?
Someone's gonna find it.
Yeah,
Do
they'll
they
tell
know?
us. I like it though.
I believe it's
What
the
dance is that?
Jerusalem
Anyone know?
Amazing. dance.
I have no idea.
Oh, right.
The classic.
There it is.
Man, that's not going to get
Yeah.
spammed.
That is
that's
some
not.
good
That's not the
laugh
new
spam.
raw laugh right there.
Don't
Well,
even.
I could
The
look at
worst
the skin all day, but we
thing
have
is
so
Hebo.
We've got way too many. And let's move on
we
to the
gotta
next
moving.
Odyssey
Those
skin.
bombs look
and it's
sick.
going to be Scarlet Dangerfield Neath. First thing to
High
say
res zone.
about this, Chuck, where does the name come from?
The name comes from our HR representative, Scarlett Dangerfield, who has the most awesome name in the history of
Names.
That is
first-person
her
experiences.
actual name, just so you
Dangerfield.
guys at home know.
That's a cool
We
name,
put
what
it
the
in a
fuck?
game, that
Legit.
seems so cool. Now, as I look at the skin, look at the eye patch first of all. Definitely evil.
Yeah. So the evil spy eye patch with the eye of Ra
the autos.
was That came up in the concept, and I was like, we're doing that.
Yeah.
We had half the people in the room that
Dangerfield.
did not like it,
That's
and
actually a pretty cool
I
name.
apologized to them because it was happening.
Is that
It's
flare?
like a comic book
Mr.
character
Bond,
name.
I want you to die.
So the other thing that was happening here, well, there's two other things that were happening with the skin that were the main thing. So A, we had the skin was initially called Neath with Gun.
It's
because we have
CH3.
gun animations for Neath
Thank you
that
for
we
the Twitch
already
Prime
used
sub,
on
brother.
Buccaneath, and we wanted an excuse to use those again, so we did that. Secondly,
Oh, they're using
we
the
wanted to make a
Buccaneers
hot
fucking
skin for
animation.
Neath that's totally wearing clothes. She isn't has clothes on her face.
No way.
Yeah.
No
So
way.
if you're on the
Overly
Neath is
sexualized
naked all
Even
the
has
time,
clothes on her.
no.
The least naked
Look,
she's ever
she
been.
is the most clothed person in Smite.
Is she though? That's a
I
good
think
question.
so.
Someone prove you wrong. I'm sorry.
Orbital. The ROM
Oh,
has a.
yeah, Orbital
yeah, the
Rom
full
has a
face
helmet
masks
on.
and Iron Crow hoodie.
But she's
yeah.
close. She's very
And
close.
maybe Athena, the Athena skin.
Yeah.
So.
Who can holler back
Anyway,
us?
We could put a full helm on her.
She's
later.
up there.
She is mad clothed.
WHHEN
So,
virtual
she shoots a,
relationships
yep,
last
grenade
longer than
storm
real
there.
ones we love.
It looks like webbing though. When it actually connects
Okay,
with the target,
Pants,
it
thank
actually
you for the
webs them
11
in
months.
place, so it's
Oh, yeah.
more like a. It looks like grenades, but it's more than that. It looks like it's actually weighted down, so you can actually see it wrap around them too, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
And pins them to the ground on top of that. Now the weave on the ground is an actual flare right now, as well as you saw in the base earlier on, off the backflip.
Oh, that's cool.
The flares
Oh,
on
that's
the
nice.
and the detonation of that with the spear arrow. The flames on the backflip though, that's hot.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
I actually like.
It's very
I mean,
awesome
it's not.
feeling.
I believe
Okay,
that's the
it's pretty
Egyptian
fucking
symbol on
cool.
the ground, right?
Edward Salisbury for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
The
the
ultimate is
heal.
also very
That's
good.
good.
on
Two
the side as
heal,
well.
like
I
where it
think
sucks
ultimate looks
the heal
fantastic.
back to you, is.
We
wow.
had to have
What?
skills, right?
Now, from what I can tell as well,
Bro.
is if you charge it for the
High-res
three
changing
red circles
effects
on the outside, you get the
finally?
third
Oh
one,
my
is when it's fully
gosh.
charged.
I love
Oh,
it.
nice.
I've been practicing this today, you see.
Reset
That's-
it, Pawn.
Yo, they're 2 for 2.
Well, the official charge
Two for
is the
two.
targeter in the
No
center.
complaints.
but the ones
I
on the
like both
outside,
the
it's
skins.
Sets up
three.
nicely, yeah.
Good job, Chuck.
That is awesome.
And,
I didn't make any of the stuff.
but you're on
But you're in charge of it.
You're here, you know, as lead
I
of the team.
approved
Don't
it.
you get
It
to
is
know
gonna
that?
be weird.
Yeah,
She
they
shoots out of her
just
left
say
hand.
works.
Well, if it was
Kinda
bad, he wouldn't
strange.
have let it go, right? So.
That was to you and your team, Chuck, not just you. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, I'll take it.
You're
And
a
then-
I'll take
representative.
it.
Also has a voice pack as well. Pom Pom, please give us that.
You're all right. You're all right. Ooh. Wonderful. Why, you're still alive. Not for long. Oh,
Why'd she
I
touch her
will
butt?
gladly debrief Agent Apollo.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Hang on. Debrief Agent Apollo in what way? That sounded...
I mean, you heard her.
Okay.
Why did this
There's a
spy
top secret
cross the
mission that
road?
only he.
Yes.
Of
They're
Someone-
rivals. She's
there may
like
be
the
some
spy
infiltration or
Or perhaps removing of briefs. Maybe there's a.
hunter. Easy, guys. Easy.
no.
Calm it down. Children's show as well. Although her touching her ass every time she hits taunt is very interesting in this.
See,
skin
she
as
does
well.
touch her butt. Yo,
Just
he
to
just
be
said
clear,
ass
stops
on
her ass.
stream.
Look,
Look, she
Ah,
slapped
She
her
also
butt.
does some
Example.
knee shaking dances and some other very,
She does.
Provocative.
very
That ass.
So this is
though.
also part of the Odyssey as well, correct?
Correct. The
Yo, look at
Acme
her walk.
and
She actually
the
shakes her
Odyssey
butt
skins.
everywhere. What the fuck?
There's a look at that one. Next up, we're going to be having Plague Bearer Izanami.
Yeah.
Is the next one
Yes.
on the
Oh,
list
yeah.
here.
Please,
Izanami's gonna be part of
Hi-Res,
the
go
Odyssey
3 for
collection
3.
bonus, I believe.
What
And
the
there's a nice
shit?
early look at that one. That looks
That's an
scary.
early look?
Oh, yeah.
Show me
She is
it in game.
we were
Look at his face.
Okay.
we were really looking for an excuse to plague doctor someone, anyone. We wanted to do that. We had tried who did we try that on first?
I had Rob.
Oh,
Took her at Rob.
shit. It's
Rob
actually
took
pretty
her
good
at
but it
looking.
didn't really
It was
fit.
Opwatch,
It was
Opwatch.
Damn,
Opwatch,
dude.
the other one. But you know, this Izanami ended up being the winner of the plague
stuck.
doctor concept.
I think she's on that list of most clothed now as well with this skin. Think
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
there
yeah,
you go.
it's ultimate, fully clothed.
We should start compiling this list.
Yes,
The list of the most clothed
more
gods.
clothes than clothes.
Come to
The
ability
effects,
changes
dude,
as well.
because
First of all, just
they're
wanna see
3
how
for
the
3 if they
basics
don't fuck up the effects here.
It's always important. Ooh.
Autos look cool.
Darker.
A little silvery out.
Yeah, it's all metallic,
Because it's not bone.
been metalized.
Oh, those are
They
nice.
should have changed the colors, I think. They should have been like, I don't know,
I would be afraid.
gray
very
or full silver or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
So kudos to
dash?
everyone for getting this feather skirt to work because that was challenging. But it turned out very awesome.
Was that the most challenging thing in this game was the feather skirt?
What
or
up,
was there
Alex
other
the
things?
Stink?
We had
Thank
some
you for the
other
Twitch
things,
Prime sub, bro.
but I mean, you know, we had to deal with the bird mask and its effect on other stuff, but definitely the feather skirt was the most challenging thing to deal with here. Isn't on his normal skirts.
Hi, Mr. Firefly. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub also, dude. Thank you guys so much.
Did you say, I don't think so? I'm pretty sure I heard them.
Do it again. I feel like we went with the Penny Dreadful-esque voice pack, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The effects aren't
you actually get to
crazy,
hear
but
the
I
voice
can't
pack
be
as well.
mad because the
I would've
skin
touched
actually
that
looks
before
good.
I'd seen the show.
As long as it's not like a crazy price, I'm pretty.
I would have requested some things.
Iris
if I
3
knew
for
we were
3 in
doing
my
that.
book.
Yeah.
I've never liked trees since.
The 2 is a little bit more difficult to see. But I mean, the 1, the 3, and the ult are kind of the same. What up, Nedsma? I've been good, man. How you been? Don't talk to J Tedder, talk to me. Talk to J Tedder.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's a
wow.
good psycho
That is
laugh.
a mad spam laugh right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bring out your dead. I've seen some nasty things, but you disgust me.
I'm seeing we can't hear her.
According to WebMD, I'm sick and tired of the enemy team. I've got a fever, and the only thing that will cure it is a pentakill.
Fever joke.
Yo, look at how she runs,
Don't forget,
bro.
guys,
I don't know if
listen,
normal isn't how
they
he runs
can
like
hear
that.
it, It's just that you guys were
But
talking
she's like
over
tiptoeing.
it.
Watch her run
discussing
forward.
this.
Run forward, Pond, please.
Focus.
All right, all right.
Now, I
Look
did
at how
miss
she
one of the
runs.
production
She's like
credits, but we're gonna
tiptoeing
go back now and
fucking
look at
creepily.
Another one, which is
Talker to
part of the
shit.
Odyssey, which I forgot about. Celestial Isis is another skin that's
Cold
going to be part of the
runs on
Odyssey.
whole
And
green.
the first thing I can see here is those are stained
wings.
glass wings.
Yo, look at them
Jeez.
wings.
That's really pretty.
What the
Like, how much effort did that take to get in there, Chuck?
The actual
well, that-
skin looks
that
mad,
came up
but
a lot
the
in
wings.
just general discussion for cool things for ISIS, and community-wise and otherwise.
8 out of 10 on the last one.
Jeez.
So yeah, so the
What?
trick there was that original ISIS has
Bro, her face looks
feathers kinda
fucking
curve outward and they're,
stupid,
like floppy and
But her wings
soft.
look awesome.
So we really had to do a bunch of different revisions and tests on this in order to get the stained glass wings to behave appropriately. But they really turned out really cool, and we were all
Those are
really
sick.
happy with the outcome.
Damn,
They look absolutely beautiful, honestly.
Very good.
Really, really pretty.
that's
How's the
crazy.
game? Oh,
You can see that wing gust.
Yeah, show me the wing gust, Pon.
That's sick. Yo, is he zoomed in? Like, why is he so
Look
close
down a
to
little
the
bit,
fucking
Pon.
thing?
Yeah, yeah.
To really show off the effects of that one as well.
He is absolutely zoomed in.
The other thing is the back piece comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Out, Pon.
It just
Jeez,
pops
too
up when you use
close.
the wing
I
gust
think
as well.
that's
Not
part of all of
Xbox.
ISIS skins.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Just neat.
That originally was a thing that was behind ISIS's head all the time, but it was,
Oh,
it was a little
dang.
visually confusing, so we had to
Show
restrict
me the ult.
That's almost
that looks
stained
even
glass
bigger.
bit,
it. Yeah,
too.
the stained glass ball.
I don't think it is bigger, but it just looks bigger from the skin.
Yeah, we'll double check that, make sure that's not OP.
Good job, good job. I'm glad you're doing that because otherwise people are saying that. And
Should
here's
be the same
silence as well.
size.
Balance is kind of the same. 2
This
is
is
cool.
the visual opposite of the witch skin,
No, yeah.
Scarlet Coven.
Oh, yeah, right. So now we have the nice base ISIS, and you got the good and evil ISIS, too.
The ever popular. You suck.
That is a fun
2
skin.
and the 1 are
That's really
pretty,
And on top of
pretty
that,
not
it
bad.
does come with a
I'll
voice
give it
pack
to 'em.
as per usual.
I
as
like
long
the
as my
fucking
guests
wings.
will
Those
be
wings are
quiet.
awesome.
Well
Is
done.
that 4 for 4? I'll give him 4 for 4. I
Spectacular.
won't knock any of them.
I do it for victory. Come one, come all. I will stop at nothing to defeat this evil. I had a dream about a female horse wearing armor. It was a nightmare. Sometimes your knight in shining armor is just a fool in tinfoil.
There we go.
Yes.
How did I
Pretty
get my phone
looking
fixed,
skin.
yo? They
And
gave
that's
me a
the
new
last
phone.
of the Odyssey ones
New
we
iPhone
have for this week, but we still have more skins to show you. It's not over just yet. It is very much skin week this week, and we go into Halloween skins.
So many skins.
Next up,
Ooh,
and this
Halloween.
one will be,
Coming.
well,
Halloween.
it's one that probably a lot of people expected for a
Oh,
while. Wolfman
everyone knew this one. We
Fenrir.
already
There
saw
he
this.
is.
Chuck, why is it taking
This
so
is
long to
underrated.
have this in the game?
Just, you know, it just has. I don't know why.
always
I've
been
been
wolf, now he's
crusading
man.
for the Wolfman Fenrir for quite some time because it just seems so wonderfully obvious.
Was it just difficult to get the tech to put pants on him? Was that the biggest problem?
No, it's just, we got to schedule a lot of skins, got a lot of stuff happening. We already had some Halloween stuff in the queue last year, and so this
Okay,
year
look
I
at
was
his
doubling
fucking
down on my
Paul,
desire
Paul,
for Wolfman
Paul,
Fenrir.
whatever
Who
the
looks
fuck.
awesome, by the way.
Oh, he
I
actually
love
looks
how those
sick.
effects on the
Nicely.
face turned out.
Oh, I was a little disappointed because I thought it was me boring.
Fantastic.
really
Just
cool.
The
That's
His clothing looks like he
pretty
hoped out
fucking
into
good, dude.
Yeah, he looks like a classic person that turned into a werewolf. Like, that's what you want from a skin like
What the
this.
fuck?
All the
Auto
effects look
attack,
good.
dude. I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite
Halloween
like colors.
green. Little tombstone.
Like an aqua
Yeah.
greenish blue
awesome.
color. That's one of my
Touches.
favorite fucking colors.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that yet. Ooh, that looks cool.
So he goes green for that. And uses Howl and into Brutalize.
I'm out for blood. Fresh meat.
And a big doggy.
Oh, they should have changed the doggy a little bit. Whatever. I'll take it. It's like
The
a
tombstones are awesome.
good
love the
skin for a
tombstones on
plain
that.
skin.
Yeah.
Nice and clear
Actually
on that one
looks-
as well.
just the
And he
color's a
also
good
comes
color.
with a voice pack as well.
You're an animal.
I'm personally very excited about this skin. I'm gonna have to play a little bit of Fenrir. Gonna have to dust it off.
Yeah.
I am beastly.
That didn't sound so threatening, that one. I am beastly.
He's
Kind
got a
of.
really good B
menu.
Halloween movie voice, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a joke about that.
Sometimes I miss being human. It's a
That
lot
is
harder to
definitely
get
like a
Chinese
Halloween movie
food or
voice.
a good pina colada looking like this.
He's a werewolf in this skin. He knows that he was actually
That
human
was
at
like
some point.
He used to be
That
here.
was a whole diatribe.
It's like some Warren Zevon level.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what it
exactly.
is. It's a shout out.
Maniacal.
What up, Josh?
And that's not the only Halloween skin we have, however. There is another Halloween skin coming out this patch as well, which will be Feline Fashion Awelix.
All
Shmelex.
right, I promise not to
Bro.
talk through the voice packs.
Oh my
Thanks, Chuck.
gosh.
I appreciate
Skin
it.
is
Fashion
gonna be
does
so
not
good. I have
look
a
like she's
feeling
on
they
that
didn't fuck
list
this one up.
Okay,
with
Chuck,
Neith.
talk to me about the
They're gonna
inspiration
have
for
big
this
Halloween
Awelix.
tits.
I mean, it's every girl's last minute Halloween costume, right?
Is
you
our
didn't-
last minute
You
skin?
didn't plan.
Plus a tiger.
Sexy black cat costume. It's classic.
If in doubt, go with the black cat.
You
And
can't
just
go
had
to a
make
college
literally
Halloween party
gave her
without seeing this costume.
Every
can't.
white
I think we'll see
girl
a few more
This is
Halloween
a-
outfit in
a
one.
top tier implementation of that particular
the tiger
concept.
stripes on the skin is
But
great too.
yeah, it turned out really cool.
Obviously, with new abilities as well. But she
Suku.
also has Suku, who is a tiger. Why a tiger?
Because tigers are black and orange Halloween colors.
There you go.
And we couldn't have a black cat riding on a black cat because that would just not be
Yeah.
as interesting.
Too much of
Alright.
the same.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain.
Considering Suku is already pretty much that color.
Nerf
or at least a
movies.
deeper colour. So it's going to be the tiger. I like the paw prints that came out of Suku actually. When we saw that. And it's a
Oh,
tiger
that's actually
version
cool.
as well
Wow.
as that. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like,
Set me out.
I don't know. I like it. Halloween colors,
Also opening
simple.
up Smite cosplay potential. Now
As
you
long
can
as
just
these
get
are not
those same
overpriced,
cat
it's
ears.
down.
See, this is
And
what I
you're
think the art
up there with the
department does,
pros.
right? Is we release these sexy looking skins ready for the World Championships every year, just so we get some better, more interesting cosplays as well.
Oh, I've
more
never
things to
thought
look
about it
at.
like that actually.
Neither had
That's
I until just now, and I'm like, oh, I hear what you're doing here.
See,
You're a
Bologna,
genius.
very difficult. This, just get the ears.
Chuck's
Yeah,
an evil
right.
mastermind. He's like,
Everyone
oh,
can participate.
you want to wear clothes on one of the skins? Sure, here's the new Neef skin. If in doubt.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're a mastermind, Chuck.
So I'm giving it away.
Oh, he
And the
just
voice pack as well
fucking
comes with the Wheelix
Perv,
skin.
bro.
I mean, she's got the same amount. All right, I'm not going to talk.
You are perfect. You are perfect. That was amazing. I am rather cute. You know what they say. Black cats are unlucky. Are you the perpetrator?
Wait. Okay, stop for a second. Just stop. I don't want to interrupt.
Shaking her
but
butt.
Get ready for the joke, okay? Because this is like a
listen to
top
the
tier
joke, guys.
Tina classic.
Up there for the ages.
Just wait for it.
Don't tell me a funny cat joke or I'll poo my pants.
Oh,
There
what?
it is. There it is.
Can you do BEW
Yeah.
one more
Oh,
time?
What?
That's my favorite.
That's
Oh, no.
That's a good woohoo.
That
Yeah.
will get muted.
Yes.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Don't you love not having the restrictions pawn? You can just spam for days in
Yeah,
our dev account.
it's
You
great.
No overflow for us.
And when I say they're going to be muted, it's
my
not
pants,
some troll on
Really?
ranked. It's going to be Larson in the playtest who I have to mute.
Yeah.
And next up, more skins. It's going to be Mastery skin time, and we're going to start things off with one of the newer gods. Izanami is now getting her Mastery skins.
Mastery
There's some
skins are
fantastic
so
card art on your screen right now.
Might make you poo my pants.
It's a good
I hate this
good
job
joke.
sometimes, man. I hate this
Of
job.
all of our
If we
bad
say it enough
jokes,
times.
that's a good one of all of our bad jokes.
So let's have a little look at her in game as well.
Chuck has been killed.
That dress looks
They
awesome.
did.
Yeah,
The
it's
fact that they
amazing.
finally
The colour
changed
effects
this where
are
they actually have
really good in it as well.
skin.
Although she looks like she's been like
On all
in
the
deep sea a
Mastery
little bit
skins,
in the
pretty
legs.
good.
They look a little bit gangrene there for some reason.
I mean,
Which is part of her
she's-
effect,
yeah,
right?
that's her legitimate normalness.
It's been a while since she's been alive, all right?
I actually
That's a good
didn't want to
point.
laugh.
There's
I
some decomposing going on.
kind of feel violated.
That's very Japanese-esque to me as well. The black and the gold. And there's also the diamond one as well. Is she? Is it taunts for us?
Diamond.
Diamond.
There were too many skins to actually bind to.
It's all right, Pawn. You're doing great.
You did good job so far. So far, don't give him too much hope.
Starts with
He'll
a
let us
D.
down somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, the diamond.
Pretty
Oh,
awesome.
I like that one too.
It looks great.
How do the auto
skins
attacks
are not
look on
bad.
Just have interest if there was
Like, I
diamond
don't
attacks
know.
on it.
Maybe Hi-Rez decided it was
Oh,
time, but they
nice.
fucking
they're
killed
sparkly.
it.
They are.
That moment when you
Oh,
put
the way-
your
yes!
team up against it and you don't
Good
know if
job.
you're going to be right or wrong, but you're like, I wonder if they're going to. Oh, it is. It's great.
We do the in-hands always on the mastery skins.
And that's not the only masteries that have been done this patch. We're also going to be doing Neath. Not just Scarlet Dangerfield Neath, but we're going to have the new updated mastery look with the new style.
Bro, look at the side
And back
boob.
to her usual no clothes, Chuck.
Her face
I
looks
mean,
weird
This
again.
standard
You know,
Neath.
It's
an
classic
side boob.
Egyptian.
Regular neath.
Bro, that is
It's okay.
the
Wasn't
thumbnail
me-
right
wasn't
there.
trying to
It's a
upset you
giant
guys. I
But
was
boob.
now we
do that.
won't have solid gold finger neath.
That's true.
So,
Solid gold.
Instead,
Getting rid of those one at a time.
yeah.
Oh, look
that's
at that.
right.
I really like the diamond on this one as well. And actually, to be fair, all three of them are really good. Legendary. Good job, Pompon.
I
Good
can
job.
spell.
Good job.
I was in
Doing
a
good.
spelling
He's
bee
doing
once.
good.
Did you?
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
year was that?
like middle school. Long time ago.
Got beat by
Back in your prime.
Scott's
Yeah, that was my prime spelling years.
They're killing it with these fucking mastery
Yeah, these
skins
are
now.
looking great.
These are fantastic.
These are really
as
cool,
always.
Back
too,
in the
because
day,
this is-
mastery
this is just
skins
our
were
team going
hype,
through
but
and
they
like,
were
"Yeah, you
not
know what?
good.
This
These
isn't
are
quite
so
up to our
much better.
standards. It's not going to sell anything. We just want our game to look better. I
And-
think that's really neat.
And Chuck's new system to get these out as we're doing skins is really efficient. It's going to make us keep on schedule really well with
And we
these.
keep
That
doing
was
it every single
actually
patch now, so.
that was actually the performance department system. I
Yeah. I
cannot
think
take
I
credit
like
for that.
the
so
uh,
our platform team.
Chuck, will you just
rank
take credit
5
for
one.
something? You've come on this show this week. And you just won't take credit for a thing. Just take some, okay?
He's a moocher, and we're calling
Mercury
attention to
mastery
it.
skins.
so-
I'm down.
I took credit for us getting to make
The weekend
Werewolf
needs
and
Mercury
Werewolf.
There you
mastery
go.
skins.
And that is all the skins we have for this week for you. I believe that was like, I can't even
That was the most we've
All
done
right,
in a
we're going
single
into
show
balance.
in a while.
Yeah.
Are
Are they balancing anything this patch?
Number.
7, 8 skins. including the
3
masteries.
purchasable Odyssey skins, 1 unlockable Odyssey, 2 Halloween, 2 masteries.
Lots and lots of skins coming out
Yeah.
of this patch.
You got plenty to like and acquire.
We've still got plenty more to come for you, though, coming into this patch. We're going to go through the actual patch notes now, for the most part, and we'll round things off with the new god. Yes, there is a new god, as you all saw last time around. Pompon is now
Camazotz,
going to join me
motherfucker.
for the go-over of the patch notes, and probably
Yep,
with the new
hello.
god later on, which he spoiled last week. Oh, last 2
Look,
weeks
everyone
ago.
loved it. It's
You
great.
don't think
Wow.
about it, Jason.
The
What
best
the
news was everybody on Twitter, sorry, Reddit expected to be fired. Me too, unfortunately, but he didn't have
They can
the-
do as much
Nope, I'm
balance
still
as
here.
they want.
One day I'll
High
get a better
risk.
replacement. Onwards then to the patch notes. First thing up is going to be, as per usual, achievements. And it's going to
Goodbye,
be Jean
Hindu.
Quick. Oh, I'm going for a ride.
Okay, so this is an
Damn.
earthquake. We are still live. Stay
Achievement.
tuned.
Jean-Qui, what's in the bag? Is the first one. As Jean-Qui, use Expose Evil and Exorcism to fully stack your passive. And Book of Demons. As Jean-Qui, stun 3 or more enemy gods
Oh, these
with
are
Book of
all
Demons. Pretty
achievements, alright.
simple.
Yep, get into a team fight.
Bad news is you got to play Jean-Qui, though.
That's fine. He's good.
Take it to arena or something. Don't
No,
take
Pawn.
Carly, next up as well, is going to be Bounty Hunter Carly. As Carly, kill 5 gods in one match that are marked for death by your passive.
Yep. Pretty simple.
Now, the easiest way to do this, Pompon, is pick the worst person on the enemy team, right? Die to them, so the passive hits on them.
Yeah, if you
And then go and kill them, and then die to them again.
yeah, if you're playing and you spawn
Genius.
in and it's like the solo lane Hercules that's building only physical protection, just be like, nah, I'm done. I'm just gonna go die somewhere else. Get a new target.
And not only that, it's also Thought You Had Me, as Carly killed 2 gods in a single match while using Destruction when you're under 10% health.
Pretty
Press
simple.
Alt. Press Alt, kill people. And the final achievement as well is going to be Cabrakan. Tremors, as Cabrakan keep an enemy stuck in Tremors for 6 seconds?
Yeah.
6
That's a long
seconds?
time.
What
Yeah,
the
wall them
fuck?
with the ult and then just slam.
Does it have to be the whole time?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
In just a single go.
6
And then on
straight
top of that, Shield
seconds.
Smash, as Cabrakan get max stacks on your shield and stun enemy god with it. Okay.
That's easy.
As well, just to add to this, Naja
No
had
strats.
Yeah.
a little bit of a change here. We've added back
Very minor.
Naja's Watch This achievement, which went missing.
Yeah, it disappeared one patch and it's back.
Where'd it go, Palm?
Someone stole it.
Was it you?
No, I didn't steal it.
Did
Okay.
anyone see a rabbit just there?
A rabbit?
We don't talk about the rabbit.
Okay, sorry.
Rabbit. I don't see no rabbit. What was the rabbit?
that's how Cabrakan
Smash the rabbit.
The rabbit's
Wait,
name
where
is
the fuck
Shield.
is
Papa,
Chunga's
did you read this
rabbit?
type notes? Is that what you're looking down right now?
No, I
I'm
didn't
so
do that.
lost.
Tremors. Oh, yeah.
I think it's great.
That's-
Oh,
all
Tremors
Chunga.
also
It's
Chunga.
beautiful.
Chunga is not
Pretty
Tremors.
fucked
okay.
up.
You can take credit for that,
The
John.
I'm not
more
messed up,
you
dude.
learn. Miscellaneous change. Oh, sorry, first of all, Halloween Arena
Yeah, cool
is
stuff.
on its way. And in the Halloween arena, decorated arena to set the mood for Halloween. But not only that, we've included the scary potion once more. This time with different effects, though, Pom.
If you remember the
potion.
one from last year, this
Oh,
one
that's
is
right.
different. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thanks, Pon.
If you remember the one from last year,
has-
it's
It is not the
that one.
same.
It has a new formula.
If you weren't here last year, for you guys at home as well, it's a potion you can buy in there. Is it free to buy as well, or a gold or something like
I
that?
think it's free.
It's a free potion you guys can buy.
You shouldn't be punished for
Take it in.
exploring your Halloween.
Play around with it in the arena, and you'll find out some nice effects that are going to happen in game with that one. And now onto the actual full-on patch notes now. Miscellaneous fixed an issue where players on low settings would not see the screen turn grey once they died.
Yep,
So
if
now
you,
they'll-
Oh, what?
yep, you actually now know when you're dead. You know when you've made a
5
mistake.
months
Okay,
woo.
I mean, normally I know when I'm
Hey,
dead 'cause
thank
it
you for
says
the
were
5
bad.
months. Wheelix season Bay.
I
You
never
gotta
see
skin
the
this
screen,
patch.
so
Moving again.
So why is
Fix an
there
issue
so
where
much
the
camera
Chinese
movement?
recall skin had a green glow when backing in base.
Yep,
So nice
fixed.
little correction there. And now onto items. Pompon, your favorite item changed this patch.
My favorite item change this patch would probably be Rune Forged.
Runeforged?
Yeah.
I see. Well, we'll start
Whoa!
things off.
Don't
in
buff
alphabetical order
Runeforged!
And go with
Don't do
Gem
it.
of Isolation. Pompon, what is the major change with Gem? What's the
So-
idea?
Gem of Isolation is one of those items that's kind of a luxury for a lot of mages. The slow effect is really nice to get if you can get it, especially on certain characters, but it's also really expensive and it doesn't give you too
Nerf
much
the
power or
price.
survivability. It kind of gives
Either
you a
buff
mixture of
damage
stats.
or nerf price.
And so when you're looking at kind of what mage does, you go for those direct damaging stats, and it just wasn't quite
just made
hitting
it.
enough of a
That
punch
Yankee
to
just
compete
subbed to
against
me.
those other direct damaging choices.
Fucking made it, stream.
So we've upped the power.
I
a little bit.
made it.
And we've
Thank you,
upped
Matt
that power
Yankee.
by 20. It's now
Matt
going to
Yankee's
be
been here since I had
increased
one
from
viewer.
70 to 90 on this item. Gold stays
Literally
the same,
one
and the
viewer.
other effects stay the same as well, Pompon, yeah?
Exactly the same.
Okay, that's the change with Gem of Isolation. Isolation. Next up is
Yeah, just in to see if it gets
Ritual
picked up.
Dagger. We've reduced the
power.
cost from 2,000 to 1,850, but also by doing that, we've reduced the attack speed on this item from 20% to 10%.
Yep. So for a
Might
lot
get
of
picked
support
up,
characters,
maybe.
gold is a very, very valuable stat to them because they get a little bit less of it. And so this is an item really towards support characters. Other characters can get it, which is why it has the stats it has. But supports are generally the ones that get the kind of team-oriented actors that really
I'm
benefit
not
from
building
Ritual Dagger.
Ritual Dagger.
So we've taken away some of the stats that they can't really use too much, and then also taking away gold to adjust for that. So it's taken away a little bit of the attack speed and that
Thank you, fuck you.
so it's a little cheaper.
Next item to be patched
you.
in the latest patch, which will be on probably Tuesday next week. Runeforged
Yep,
Hammer
Tuesday.
is next up, and this is the one Pom was looking forward
This
to.
is the one I like.
No.
Pom, first of all, before we even go through it, what was
They
the
reduced the
reasons
cost by
behind
400
changes?
gold?
So Runeforged Hammer is a very niche item in terms of what it provides
Ao
to you.
Kwang
You have to
Mastery
be a character that
skins
already
are
has a slow, you have
sexy.
to build into a slow, and both
You
of those
beg
kind of
Bart.
restrict where you can use this item effectively. At 24,000 or 2,400, not 24,000. If you, especially if you have to build a Runeforged Hammer because you don't have a slow built into your kit, it's a lot
Love
of
your
money to dedicate
stream.
towards items that aren't
Usually
really
watch
focused
on
in defense or
YouTube.
offense.
I
and
might
that made it
donate
very
later
limited.
for my
And
birthday.
so
It
we're
was
looking to bring the
yesterday.
cost down
Take care.
and increase
you.
the effectiveness
Thank you
of
for
the
the resub,
actual
dude.
passive
Happy
when you
early
get
or
to
late
use it,
birthday.
so that it's a little bit more easy to fit into a build, especially on characters that do have
The
their
only
builds and
person I
stuff.
Let's see
sub
how
to,
this stats
yada,
compare. It's
yada,
reduced cost
yada.
from 2,400
Thank you,
to
Akara. Thanks for the 3
2,000
months. I
gold to a
appreciate it.
400 gold reduction. Not only that,
Reduce the
they
cost
reduced
to
the
2K,
physical power from 40
physical
to
power
30,
30.
and the reason for that is because we're going to increase the aura from 10% to 15% overall here. So overall, a buff to this item.
Yep, so
Don't
for the
know if that's
reduction of the
getting picked
power,
up.
that's just to make sure that it stays in line. Even because we took 400 gold off it, that is a pretty big amount to remove. We had to remove the power as well.
Who the fuck would
On
build
top
this
of that,
item?
The final item to be changed this patch is going to be Tower Shield, which is the tier
Yeah,
2
Tower Shield.
of the shield tree.
So Shield of Regrowth
Reduce
and
the
Shifter
cost,
Shield are
watch.
kind of why this is getting changed.
Okay.
Shifter Shield is a pretty powerful item. It gives you a lot of power and then shifts to defenses when you need it. Shield of Regrowth is also
Thank
a
you for
powerful
the
effect
sub,
if you can
Thud.
actually get a character
Welcome
that
to the Weak
uses the
Nation,
passive
brother.
effect. Building into it is difficult though because the tier 1 and the tier 2 options don't provide you nearly enough protections
changed
for
the
it to be
stats.
worthwhile.
What the fuck?
It doesn't provide you enough power to kind of really compete, and so we wanted to make sure that people who were building into these options had a little bit more of survivability when they were building into that tree.
And the idea behind that is going to be increasing the physical protection on this item from 10 to 20. So 10 increase on that. Gold stays the
Shifter
same
Shield
on the item overall, just a little bit more effective.
Might be
than the
kind of good.
Yep.
Maybe,
That's
nah,
all
probably
we've got time
not,
for
honestly.
items, but we do
Still
have
the
God
end stats
next.
are
Pump on
average.
your favorite god change this patch. Just,
Oh,
the,
man.
just the first letter to keep it tantalizing.
I think the most interesting one is C.
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 See,
To the first one.
see,
Yes, it'll be the first one.
Tonga,
Thanks, Fad.
come back in.
Chaac is next
Chaac,
up. For
what are you doing?
balance, and the biggest change with Chaac here is we're going to talk for him here, but the torrent is going to get changed to make it more effective under cripple.
Torrent is one of those abilities that like has a weird interaction with cripple. It's like a lot of times you actually aren't even using it for teleport. You just want to spin because you used your axe somewhere else. Your axe isn't even
you
out.
can do
But you're
damage.
crippled, so you can't spin. We've now fixed it so that if you can't teleport to it, if your axe isn't out or your axe is on
Your two
cooldown,
can do damage while
you'll
crippled.
actually still be able to spin. But if your axe is out and you would teleport to it, you can't use it while crippled.
Okay, so you
That's
can't
not a
use it if crippled and
change,
your axe is
bro.
out, but you can't spin on the spot or anything like
That's not
that.
a buff.
Only if your axe is away.
Yeah, if your axe is away, you can actually spin regardless of if you're crippled or not.
But that's not the only change that's going to be happening to Chaac this patch as well. We're going to be simplifying a little bit of his ultimate here. Storm Call is going to have the remove conditional bonus damage and knock up when picking up the axe on activation. And Storm Call no longer interacts with deployed axe. The base
Buff
damage
the
of this has
damage.
gone up because of that as well, and the physical power scaling has also increased overall. Pompon, what's
Not
the real
bad.
reason we've been looking at doing this? Because it's not going to have the knock up anymore. Is it
Well,
because
it's gonna
of
do
it was
more
a
damage
complex
also.
situation that it was used?
That's
So
a better
Storm
change
Call
than the other
is,
one.
was hard to actually use with the deployed axe. You had to throw it out and then be in range when you activated it, and then you got the effect.
Yeah.
It also took away your ability to use your 1 or your 2, so you couldn't teleport with Torrent. You couldn't deploy a giant rain field, which are very big, impactful ways to either engage or to control a team fight. And so it just felt like it was kind of restricting Chaac's ability to make choices, and also didn't flow very well with the
It's a
ability.
nice small
so we
change.
simplified it. We brought Stormcaller's base up to make up for the fact that you can no longer actually use it with the axe. So it's just more powerful on its own, and now you're freed up to actually use the engage of the 2 or the rain area. of
That
the
scaling is
Lot
pretty
of
fucking
more
high. I'm
effects
not
for
gonna
Chaac
lie.
there. Obviously, he's been having a couple of buffs the last few patches. It seems like he may even come back even further now.
Chaac coming
Yeah,
into
in,
the meta, boys.
in our
Not
playtest,
really.
he's
I
actually doing
have no
pretty
idea. It might.
Really? Were you playing him?
hint, use
No,
Chaac.
Everybody use Chaac. That's
I sit in the
goal
jungle all day.
Next up on the patch is Medusa, the next one that's going to be balanced this patch. And Medusa is going to get some mana issues corrected this patch. It seems to be the big key here.
Reduce
Acid
cost
Spray's
on
mana cost
abilities.
is going to be reduced. It used to be 70 to 90. It's now going to be 60 to 80. And on top of that, we're also
Nice
going to
for
change
laning.
Lacerate's mana cost as well. It's going to be reduced from 85 to 70 at all ranks. Pompon,
It's actually
why
going to
are
be
we
kind
reducing
of
the
nice
mana
for
costs?
laning phase.
So Medusa is this kind of hybrid hunter, which is more on the ability side. She does have an enhanced stim with her 1, but it's kind of it's a weak enhanced stim. It's only for 3 shots, and so she definitely falls into more the ability hunter category. And when we looked at how she played in lane, and when we looked at kind of how she competed with other ability characters, her mana costs were often too high, so that she was limited in how often she could poke and use her wave clear tools, as well as how often she had the mana to escape with lacerate. So we're just bringing them down a little bit, so she has a little bit more options in the early and mid game.
Okay. Next up on the list
Not bad.
is Scylla. Now, this was mentioned
Scylla.
by Chris on Twitter early on, so a lot will talk about this one.
Yep.
The first thing to mention is the Sentinel, which is very similar to Chaac's change to his Torrent. Sentinel can now be cast and not actually jumped to during cripple, but you can still cast it, is the
Okay.
biggest difference there.
So if you want to
That's interesting.
preemptively throw that out to try and teleport to it, if you want to get the mana regen going, if you
Gamer
want to get
Noob.
the vision
Thank you for
while
the
you're
Twitch
getting
Prime
ganked
sub,
and like
brother.
crippled, you can actually use that now.
Oh.
It was a little bit jarring when you couldn't even throw it out while you're
That's
crippled.
a nice
so that's been
change.
fixed.
Okay, so it's a little
actually.
bit more.
Like, it's
a
very
survivability
small,
with that, I
not
guess,
game
to be able
breaking,
to
but
throw
it's
it
a
out
nice
at least, and
like
then once you are off
quality of
cripple,
life
immediately
change.
jump to it as well.
Yep.
And not only that, Scylla is also going to get a change to Crush. Now, before we go through exactly what's happening here, what is the reason
Already changed
for
it.
this
Already
pop-up?
showed it.
So when we look at kind of how the mage meta has shifted since the removal of Purple Pot and a few other characters coming in and out, Raijin particularly, we're looking at how the mages compete in the early, mid, and late game and how their kind of classification fits with that.
Yeah.
So Scylla is very much a late game character, but based on the feedback we've seen as well as kind of reviewing our internal metrics and everything, her early game is so behind because she's a character that only has 1 really damaging clearing tool where most other mages have 2. Her mid contention's a little bit weak unless she blows her ultimate, which isn't always what you want to be doing. Her early game was so behind all the other mages, especially with the removal of Purple Pot, that she was never actually getting to the late game stage, and it wasn't worth picking her as a risky character to get to the late game stages. If she
gonna
did
buff her
get there,
too.
she was doing okay, but it was
They had to.
often really difficult for her to
And
do
if they
that.
want her play,
So
they
our
have
goal
to.
is to help her a little bit in the early game to make sure that she's not so far behind
It's
the
gonna be like
curve
a
so that she
10
can get
damage
to the late
buff.
game.
Watch.
if she plays safely and plays intelligently.
Especially with only one damaging ability for wave clear for the most part in the early stages. The change is
J
going to
Taylor,
be,
I do.
guys, Crush
I do.
is going to have increased mana cost on this first of all. From 60 to, it used to be 60 to 80, it's now going to be 70 to
you.
90.
Yep.
The increased damage,
Scaling's
though,
nice.
it used to be 90 to 310, it's now going to be 90 to
Scaling's nice.
330.
Wow.
But also, we're going to be increasing the magical power scaling on this item, on this ability as well, sorry, from 80% to 100%. So this is just to make it a little bit more, bit stronger in the early game.
I
Yeah,
don't
so this will
know
make it
if
stronger
that's
in the
going to
early
be
game.
clearing
If you itemize
early,
for these
but I
early
think
damaging items,
Scylla
you'll
might
benefit from the
complain
scaling a little
again.
bit more directly. So if you actually itemize
That's
to
scaling.
mitigate her early weak game, you are helped a little bit more. And then the increased
That
mana cost is there to
fucking
encourage players to
scaling,
use
dude.
Crush intelligently. You don't want to be spamming it on the wave and then
Bro,
in
her
a fight
2 is
and
gonna
then in
hit
a
for,
poke
like,
situation and then at mid hard
1100.
Her early game isn't supposed to be where she's dominating you with these giant poke tools, so you have to be, if you can dodge,
Not
it's
really
going to be
1100.
really punishing
On
her the
squishies, it's
mana,
gonna
but
hit
she
for, like,
can use it a
900
little bit
late
better
game,
to clear it
1000
a little
late
bit
game.
more to engage now.
And the final god that's going to be patched in 3.18 is going to be Susano.
Yep, Susano is
Finally.
actually on here.
Now, what's the reason? Why is it taking? First of all, why is it taking so
Nervian?
long, Pom Pom, for us to get changes? And what are the changes? What is the idea behind these changes?
So Susano is kind of one of those characters that's a little bit delicate. We've been watching him and watching the balance changes we've done on him very closely, and we've actually seen him fall into a pretty good spot balance-wise. He's not making games go one-sided. He's not making games so crazy. We've even seen at competitive levels he's kind of come in and out, and he's doing pretty well and
don't know if
okay
he's
there.
nerfed.
He's
I
not
don't know.
dominating everything. But we have gotten a lot of frustration factor from people in the community saying that like he's really hard to fight against, he's really difficult to fight against. And so when we were looking at the changes we wanted to make to him, we wanted to be very careful that we made the right changes to reduce the frustration, but not to make him so that he's too weak or too difficult to actually play.
Okay, so we'll go through the abilities now. First of all, Storm Carter is the first thing that's going to get changed this patch. Now, I'm not going to read all the numbers off because there's a big wall of text here.
What?
But what it basically means is that instead of just the first 2 attacks of this 3 attack ability dealing damage, all 3 will now deal damage, but the damage is spread across all 3 abilities, correct? Or
Yes,
3
so
uses, sorry.
it was now spread across all 3 abilities. The first 2 still deal more than the final third one, so the dash is, I think, half of the damage of the rest of them. But it is split across the 3, so that if you actually... Before, you could use just the 2 abilities and dash away.
0.4.
Now, if he actually wants to get more damage out, he actually has to dash through you, and it's about the same damage, actually. But if he chooses to run away, he's doing significantly less.
And not only that, the wind-up time on the actual
No, this is
precast
a
at the very first slash has
massive
been
nerf to
increased as
Susan.
well.
What the
It used to be
fuck?
0.1 second, it's now going to be 0.4, so there's a little bit more chance to be able to react to
Bro, they
engagement.
just
You'll know
killed
more
Susan.
whether
What
you're
the
actually getting
fuck?
attacked yet, whether he's actually committing onto you. You might have a chance to turn around and react before he can do the second part of it or the third part of it. So you just have more readability on him.
And not only
the
that is
shit?
Storm Carter, we're also going to be taking a look at Typhoon as well.
Yeah, because
His
you don't want to
ultimate
waste
is
your
gonna get changed
dash
this
to
patch,
go into
and the
somebody
change
most
to
of
its
the time.
ultimate will
Puts you out
be
of
that it will
position.
no longer knock up unless it is fully charged.
Yes, so the big change here is
done.
Susano players were
I'm
often
done. They
using
just nerfed
Typhoon
Susan
in a way
into the
that
ground,
was you popped it
bro.
and you immediately detonated
They
it out,
literally just
and that
nerfed
caused
Susan into
a
the
powerful
fucking
knock-up effect,
ground.
and that paired with the fact that you could do damage really quickly, that paired with the fact that you had a pull, was hard to play against. Once he got on you, you were often really, really quickly dead, and you didn't
Bro,
have
I
much
don't
chance
even
to
play
react.
Susan
And
anymore, but they just
So we're removing
he's
some of that frustration
worthless
by
now.
making
What the
Typhoon not
fuck?
immediately knock you up. He can't just chain that instantly. And the second thing is, it also didn't feel quite right for the ability, right? It's a giant Typhoon wave that you want to power up and charge. It has this really cool power and charge effect. It has its pull effect where it pulls people into the center. And players just weren't using it because it was better to just throw it out and knock people up.
Yeah, especially for escape as well. I mean, he already had plenty of escape, but if his other abilities on cooldown, he'd just throw that out for a knock-up to buy him even more time.
Yep, and so that is now going to be only when it's fully charged. So if you actually use it, get people in the kind of pull effect, or you pull people into the tornado with your 2 and let it fully charge, you can still bring the knock-up effect to a team fight. You can still let charge over wall and throw it to a
What
team
the
fight.
shit,
But that scenario
dude?
where it was just instantly knocking you up is no longer going to be a case.
Now, all these changes are going to be on the PTS this weekend as well, Pom as per usual, right?
Boot by
We're gonna be
Susie.
monitoring them all closely and
Thank
taking
you,
feedback
savages.
on all these changes.
My guess is it'll be Friday, but I'm not sure on that. But
Okay.
once it's up, everyone play it, give us feedback, especially on the larger changes we've done like Scylla and Susano. Let us know how that feels, because we'll be looking at that feedback and seeing how we adjust that for the final patch.
Awesome.
Thank
That's
you for
all
the
the
sub.
items and
Skelly, is
godmods
it
for
Skelly
this
Lewis
week,
or
but
S.
we
Kelly
still got
Lewis?
more to bring
Kelly
you,
Lewis,
as
thank you
per
for the Twitch
usual.
Prime sub, brother.
And it's going to be on. Thanks for joining us, Pom. Now you can get to do some more camera work. Hopefully, you get this right this week. You get to actually show the thing you showed last week now.
Yeah.
As we bring back Fishman, Chuck, and AJ to go all through the latest god that will be joining the realm.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Really excited.
Show
about
me
the battleground, I
Camazotz,
guess. Oh, I said
motherfucker.
realm. I guess it is a realm.
It's all a realm is pretty general. It's fine.
Same old.
Realm
same
seems
old.
like a place you'd find a paladin.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It is.
It sounds good.
That's
That's a good
right.
ring to it.
It does.
Somebody should make a game about that.
Rube?
Yeah.
But
Ruby?
for now we have the battleground.
Ruby,
and
thank
we
you for
have-
the sub, brother.
the
Man, you guys are
We have the
fantastic. I love
We
you
have
guys.
the Bat God.
We sure do.
You're blank.
His
Thank you for
name
the
is
11 months.
Camazotz, and he's available right now. He's going to be available CC right now. Available next week, and he is Mayan, correct, Fishman?
That's
Oh.
right. So he actually goes from the story of Shibalanke, who we already
Okay.
have in the game. Shibalanke and his brother Hunapu kind of go through this epic journey.
Yeah.
And they go into the underworld. There's this realm Shibulba, and it has these different rooms
Alright,
of different
alright.
trials. And so Camazotz is the master of the room of bats.
Right.
And so they're in the room of bats. And they're both trying to make it through. And they're like, all right, let's just see if we can stay here overnight. We'll
Bro, he
hide
walks
in our
fucking
blowguns.
awesome.
We'll chill
In their
out.
blowguns.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
He's got a cleave.
Zip down.
Of course.
He's got a
And then
3-attack chain
all they have to
cleave.
do is wait the night, and then they leave. But Hunapu can't. He's not patient. So he peeks his head out, and the second he does, Camazotz here swoops down and takes his head. And he actually brings it up for this kind of basketball game of the gods. Like, hey, guys, I don't know where our last ball went, but here's a new one. It may be face-shaped. Gives it to
Okay.
them. Then the next morning, Shibalanke wakes up. He's like, hey, Hunapu, where are you at? And Hunapu doesn't
Base
answer. 'cause
attack
his head's
speed of
being, you know,
1.4?
tossed into
I'd be
basketball.
not surprised if he was like flying through the air. His head
No,
was
he's level
flying
20,
off
bro.
the
He's
ground.
level 20.
You think
Yeah,
you're
he's
surprised?
level
He was
20.
really surprised.
I can imagine.
So Shibalanke has the idea. He asks all the little creatures to bring him
Unless it doesn't scale at all.
plants, bring him fruits and
Then, yeah,
vegetables. And he
1.4.
actually picks a gourd, pops on a Hunapu, good to go with his new gourd head. They travel on out of there. So that's where Camazotz
Bro,
comes
his nose
from.
is
His name actually means
fucked
the
up.
death bat.
It's awesome. Chuck,
Look
obviously,
at that
with
death bat.
Chuck,
Come
with the-
on
you,
now.
You've been looking forward to this guy for a while.
they
You
could do
mentioned
so
it a
many
few
good
patches ago.
skins
You were
with him.
very excited about this guy. What was the most difficult things in terms of making this
I
character?
can
a
see what he's
reality in the
thinking through
game?
his giant ass nose.
We kind of went around on the concept for this guy quite a little bit. I actually did some work on that myself, which I rarely get to do. And just, I don't know, just trying to capture the batty monsterness and still, making him feel intelligent enough to
Lovable.
be a god at the same time. And actually, the
Hey,
real
Riptides, thank you
challenge
for the
on
5 months,
Camazotz
brother.
was the wing functionality. Because we had to have his arms be fully usable. We couldn't do a lot of things that are the way actual bat anatomy works. So coming up with the bone structure layout.
I'm just
and where it
excited to shit on
attached
kids
and
with an
how all the-
assassin again.
The skin flaps and all that
Play
stuff.
Susano
worked.
with Camazotz
Oh,
yeah.
down.
Skin flaps.
It was we actually had to go through a lot of iterations to make sure he was going to have all the mobility that he needed and be able to do everything he needed to do. So
We did a lot of iterations on Camazotz himself too, which I know Stu and Chris like to tweet out some of our earlier concepts, but we did a variety of Camazotzes ranging from more manly to completely creaturey and everything in between, just to make sure we really liked it, and we all
really like
unanimously
this.
agreed like complete creature, totally a bat, very little humanoid was the way to go.
thank
We're
God,
very happy
because
with
I
that.
was going to be real sad if he was a man bat.
Yeah, so those are
The
actually
abilities,
pretty hilarious.
I've been
Well,
patient.
They're great, but
Come
they
on.
don't quite fit him as we'd hoped. So we might send those out later.
Before we
Chad's
go
saying something about a cleave auto. What's-
Yes, I was about to say, like, before we even go through the abilities here, he's got a cleave auto. Is he auto attack based, this god here?
Okay,
And
so-
What does that
what
heal?
role is he first?
Yeah,
of
let
all?
me start introducing his gameplay now.
Yeah.
So we got the lore and the art. Camazotz is an assassin.
Right.
He is a ability-focused assassin, so he does have a cleave. His basic attack chain is a simple, same timing, 100% damage, one second.
1-1-1.
Yeah, 1-1-1, nice
1-1-1,
rhythmic attack
third
timing,
one's a
but and
cleave,
it does have
though.
a cleave on the third hit.
Okay. But he is ability based. Well, let's start off then with his passive. First of all, talk
Passive is
me through
healing,
his passive.
obviously.
Okay, his passive is Essence Drinker.
I wonder what
lifesteal.
that does.
Yeah, this is a cool one. This is playing off Camazotz's Vampire Bat lore. So he has a passive buff of Vampirism, which gives him 5% physical lifesteal and increased healing all the time.
Right.
Then also, if Camazotz is in your match and any god dies on any team, killed by anyone, Camazotz doesn't even need to be there, that god will leave behind an essence pool that lasts a few minutes.
So it's like a weave.
It's like a Neath Weave, but
Right.
it works for any team, anyone. So you can actually, your allies can die, and you can go to where the essence pools are, and if you walk into them, he heals his mana and health over time inside them.
Oh, but it looks like it's slower if you're in combat. as
Right.
well. Okay.
If he's out of combat, he drinks twice as fast. So it's 10 drinks, 10 seconds, but if you're out of combat, you get it in 5 seconds.
What if there's two Camazotz in the game?
the Camazotz will have to share and fight over the
Bro,
both.
I don't think
that's
they'll
so
need sharing.
good. You can
Well, yeah.
literally kill
So you can
somebody
fight from it
and
completely
heal
the
for
whole time
so
and just get
fucking
the
much.
regeneration, or you can tactically, roam around the jungle to find them and drink them real quickly to continue on
Wow.
your route without needing
Yo,
to go
do
back
they
to base.
stack?
Now you
What
did
if like
mention,
4 people
I
die in the
believe
same
we mentioned
spot?
off air, but you can see these on the mini map as well, correct?
Yes, there will be a mini-map indicator like AMC's Hives or an Artemis Traps that only Camazotz can see these.
Okay.
So everybody
Wow.
else in the game,
I
they
like
don't
it.
affect enemies, they don't affect allies.
Sick. That's
no
a
one
good
else
idea.
can see them. Only Camazotz, he can see them in the ground and on his mini-map.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
like
he can play around them
sacrifice
as he needs
Mindy
It seems
to
like
the
he's got a lot
gods and then
sustain
heal
in
off
this
of
kit.
his
It's
dead
already
fucking
on the passive and is,
Sure,
alone.
he's got the very much lifesteal theme. That's really kind of what you're going to see a little bit of that in every ability. So
Okay.
Camazotz should show up to the fight with full health. He might be out of mana. He has some mana issues to balance that.
Okay.
And he's got some tough skill shots to offset that too.
Well, let's go through one of the skill shots. First of all, Fisherman, we have the first ability, which is called Screech.
That's right.
I wonder what that does.
Sure.
He screeches. Pretty straightforward. It is a long distance projectile attack. It will stop on the first god it hits, but it passes through enemy minions, and you'll
What is
see
the bounce
it sends
back?
back these little sonar waves. And if he picks up one of those, he actually gets map vision. They only come off enemy gods, so enemy jungle camp won't do anything, minions won't do anything. But if it's an enemy god, he will
gonna
get
pick it,
mini-map
it's a
vision of
run
that god
into
for
it.
the next 15 seconds. He'll also get increased physical power against that god, against anything else as well.
Okay.
Physical
those
power
sonar things,
too?
You can only hit once,
Bro!
can you? Or can you hit multiple times? Because it looks
That's
like you
sick.
can see like
So it's
the
going to
bouncing.
fire off 3. He
Right.
can only get the benefit of 1, regardless of how many there are.
And it doesn't bounce and deal damage to something else like a
They
ricochet.
don't
or something
interact
like
with
that.
anything but him, but he can pick one up. And you can see they kind of
Didn't
obey the
pick any
same
up,
rules
right?
as who use Ricochet. They'll bounce off geometry, they'll bounce off player deployed walls, and they'll give him a little edge against players who he has echolocated.
So deals damage, helps to wave clear, I guess. As
Oh,
well.
why is it
But
20
on top of
seconds?
that, it'll also, if it hits a god, you can get increased damage based off it as well.
Yeah, some
How
solid.
does he have that buff?
Okay, next bit up then is
14
going to be
second buff,
what
15 second
Pompon
buff, what the fuck?
gave away very, very early, and AJ was very upset with you on the set over here, Pompon.
I hit the wrong button, man. It's
Yeah.
weird. This keyboard's weird.
Well,
Yeah,
press
okay,
1,
sure.
press 2. Yeah,
Blame it on the
keyboards are
keyboard.
hard.
He wasn't
man.
angry. He was disappointed.
I was just surprised that we were firing off the abilities that we're not talking about yet. But it's okay. It's okay,
Well,
Pawn.
we saw it, and it's vampire bats. Shockingly enough, AJ, it throws out bats.
It sure does.
But
So
what
this
does it do?
This is his second line attack. So what this does is deals damage and a little bit over time and slows the target you hit. Then it flies back to you and heals you. a
Wow,
little
it
bit.
steals you for
So
one
it's
life.
a slow. Can't think of the words. It is a slow, which is like a soft CC,
Right.
available for him as well, but it does sustain as well.
Yeah, so it's a tough to hit skill shot, and it's got shorter range.
Right.
It's narrower. It's got a longer casting time, and it only hits one target. So minions can block this. You have to hit the god, and it's his only CC on his kit is this slow.
Okay,
It's a single target slow.
that's all he's got
That's
in terms
all
of CC.
he's got.
So he's
Not
basically
very-
raw damage and survivability, it seems.
Nice
Right,
sounding.
but this ability has a little bit of a twist on it here to go with his jungling. So if you shoot a jungle buff camp, it has to be the monster that drops the buff. They will be marked with this skull, and they will fly back and give Camazotz an additional stack of vampirism, which is part of his passive. So his
Okay.
passive gives him 5% healing and physical lifesteal.
Yeah.
Each one of these stacks will give him
Oh,
3%
dang.
more, up to 3 stacks or a
stack
total of
lifesteal? What the
14%
fuck?
combined.
So does he have to kill that now?
He doesn't have to kill it. All he has to do is hit it. But now it's marked. It's marked. He cannot get the buff from it again. He's got to roam around the jungle to keep hitting
Do
things.
something else?
It's only buffs that do this. It's only
Only-
camps with buffs.
See if he hits that
central
thing
buff monsters.
right here. That guy. It'll hit channel on him like a normal minion or god and fly back and heal him, but it will not give him another stack of his vampirism. So he hit the buff camp. You'll see stack 2 appear here above the buff bar.
Right.
There we go. Now we have 2 stacks and the timer's refreshed.
And you can have a maximum of 3 stacks.
Correct.
Now, what about if the 2 Camazotz again?
Okay.
So 2 Camazotz have to fight over the jungle camp. A marked monster cannot yield a stack of vampirism. So if you invade, even if you don't kill the monster, if you invade and just mark and steal them, that Camazotz can't get a stack off that monster.
So basically, if I'm just a Camazotz in a professional game, say for example, I could run in the enemy jungle and just mark it to get a stack free and run away again. I don't have to kill the buff.
Correct. You could do that.
That's crazy. Okay. So
Really like that
weird.
mark too.
Yeah,
weird
it's a cool effect.
idea.
Really, our new effects artist has been doing a great job on all these.
It's like a skull of a bat, basically.
Yep, pretty
That's
much.
what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, next ability then. We've already seen 2, we've still got 2 more
Easy
to go, and
movement.
it's going to be
Mobility.
called Devour. I guess this is something to do with sustaining again.
That's
Sure,
really short
but it is
range.
also his mobility tool. So you'll see a lot of our leaps in this game are about 55 feet, but this one only goes 40. So it's a little slower, a little heavier, a little shorter range, but it is his mobility. And when he lands, he actually, in keeping with this kind of I want to drink your blood lifestealing kit, he heals himself based on the number of enemies he's hit with his Devour.
Okay, so if you just see that camp again, when he jumps to one of the camps, you'll see this sustain. Hitting 3, and if we just hit 1 as an example, just to see he gets more
Not
from hitting
really
multiple times
excited
time,
about
just a little bit less from
kit
that as well.
at
So
all.
just deals damage and heals as well.
That's correct.
Standard leap, just a little
Gets a
shorter.
little immunity while he's up in the
Yeah,
air.
honest.
So it's kind of like 3, 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1 maybe to get the slow off first of all, and then beat them up.
He's very flexible. I mean, ideally, you save the leap until you get the Screech buff, so you have maximized your power on your other attacks. Sometimes you're going to need to hit for bats first when you feel that it's safe or you need the slow.
Don't know if I like any
He's
of
got
the
a lot
3
of options,
abilities
he
really
really
that he just
does.
showed.
Obviously,
A
if you're trying to
passive
skirmish, you'll
idea
save
and
it to get
lifesteal
away
idea
with.
is
This is
cool,
true.
but
Yep.
not.
Well, we can move on to his last ability.
Could
now,
be
because I'm
wrong,
a bit
but-
disappointed right now that he leaps with his feet.
Kind of.
So his ultimate is going to be called Bat Out of Hell.
There we go. He flies up into the air. We really wanted
He
him
had
to
to.
fly. We wanted this
But
batty.
he had to. He's got a bat. Like
Right.
He doesn't fly.
Right. We wanted this batty type of feel. I mean, we experimented with some abilities where he went way up in the air and dive bomb down, but none of those felt like a bat. So
What is
now we
that?
have this kind of play on the Freya ult, where he goes up into the air, and he has 3 seconds of air time, and he can do up to 3 swoops that deal damage to enemies he passes through.
That's really mobile and fast, man.
So you'd be surprised. Characters with full movement speed running away from you, you don't get much ground on them. We've had
I
a
need
lot
for
of people.
escaping. That's what I was looking at. I was like,
I mean, we have a lot of assassins that can just ult away if they
true.
need to, but this
Pretty
is
sick.
pretty. You
I
can
think they
really
might need
follow
to
him if you
increase
need
the
to
time
with that ability.
in the air.
now, what happens if the timer runs out and you're not using swoop shot?
So the last swoop will fire automatically. It deals damage on timeout. You can also just right-click just to cancel it. Pong can show that too. Just go up, and you can just go right back down. If for some reason you really think you didn't need to.
You misclick.
We have a new type of timer here in the effects, which is really cool. This is just building up.
Yeah, I
That's
can see the line, yeah.
It's the total number of time the swoops are not independent like Ratatoskers. Not like Ratatoskers.
Right.
As soon as that's done, you're done.
All right. I think they need to
Now,
increase
this
some
deals
time on
damage
that
when it
ult,
connects. Is
but
there
the
any
kit's
form of CC on this?
weird.
No, you said there's no CCs.
No CC. The only little twist on this
That'll
ability
be
is that if
interesting.
you hit
I mean,
multiple
honestly,
targets
guys,
with the swoop,
Yeah.
it
I
does
don't really like
increasing
anything but
damage
the ult
as you
and the
go
passive.
through multiple targets.
So number 1 target will take less damage than number 2 target if you hit at the same time.
Right. It's kind of like Chang'e
This
ult,
is gonna
where
end up being
each,
I
each
don't
next
even
target
know.
takes a little bit more damage. So
So they're all
It's-
grouped up with the Golf Fury and just
I'm
swoop
trying
all
to think
them.
of how this
You're
would be played
probably-
competitively.
you're going to do a lot of damage. So you'll see the third Odin will take the most damage. It went up. It's a little hard to see. It's quick.
It went from
Unless
252 to
the
like
numbers,
307.
Yeah.
unless the damage
That doesn't
numbers
go with
are
the balls, does it
absurd,
pop on?
No.
I can't see this
Can't
god
you?
being
It's
like
like
a
mobility
top
wise, like,
jungler.
through
He
the
doesn't
jungle.
fly high enough.
He's got small little leap that can get over some walls, but like some others not. So he is really relying on the essence and his lifesteal to really keep going
He's a little mobility light. He's very sustaining though.
to make up for that as well. Where do you expect him to be played here?
Oh, jungle.
Jungle?
Yeah.
Can he solo?
I mean, I think with his sustainability, it's possible someone could learn how to play him solo. I think it's going to be difficult
don't
since
know,
both
man.
of his projectiles stop on God.
That's a good point. I was
Enemy
gonna say,
solo laners are
Can't
usually
be
pretty good at
lane.
countering
He
that.
can't
what
lane,
would you
and
expect
I don't
to
know
max
how
in
he's
the
gonna work in the
Because at the
jungle.
moment, 1 seems to be his damaging ability, 2 is his CC and survivability.
He can actually build a couple different ways if he wants to. Like you can, so the 2 obviously really synergizes well with
does
the
one
jungle.
go through creeps?
But it's also the tougher skill shot. So if you want, you can go with your Screech.
Okay.
So Screech is better if you think you're going to need to be assisting clear, I think. You're going to want to max that to help your mid laner out and you can hit the whole wave. But if you really want to go all in early, he's an early game assassin too, by the way. And if you really want to go all in early and get ahead, you're going to want to max Vampire Bats just for the most possible damage.
Okay.
It hits a lot harder on a single target than
I mean, I'm gonna
Screech
play this
does.
when PTS
Now,
goes
with this sort
live,
of build as well, I
but
mean, I guess we're looking for a penetrate. We don't need
this
any
kit,
lifesteal in this build.
to
Just
me,
like
right
go
now, I
Bumper's
would say
Mask.
it's one of the worst
Yes,
assassin
I
kits I've
definitely
seen
expect that, just
in a
because
very
of the
long
sharing
time.
and the other mechanics involved in it.
Like,
And the rest of the item build on that one, he's looking
Ever.
for penetration, I guess, or
But I could be
do you need
wrong.
that much survivability with this, do you reckon?
Standard pen tree items for assassins, plus a Camazotz we think works a little better with at least 1 extra defensive item. So you probably want to mix in a Magi's or a Void Shield or what was the other one? Shifter Shield. At least one of those kind of hybrid items play well with him.
Now, someone has to do those pulls stack and...
yes, you can
think
absorb
it's Camazotz.
multiple at once if people all die in the same place.
Multiple kills.
Mother of God.
And then you have to go back and stand there,
Fuck.
which we found in playtesting that standing still makes you very vulnerable.
That's true.
So-
You can
Loki's
actually play
kit
around that
isn't
against
bad,
by
though.
seeing
Loki's
those
kit
as-
is
as
cool.
on
It
the
makes
floor
sense.
And actually waiting around the corner for him to come and drink from them.
No, we have a unique thing with Camazotz. It's hidden
he
from
can see it?
only Camazotz sees the pools.
Oh, really? You don't even see it on the... No, I mean, like, on the minimap you can see it, but you can't even see it on the ground.
Other players don't see it.
However, though, if you've got a Neef on the team in
Other
either
players
side, though, you
can't
can
see
get away
the
with that
heal on the
way.
ground.
be
See, the passive is
interesting
so
way to do it,
cool
yes.
on this
So you
guy.
pick Neef so
But
you can know where
like,
the essences are.
Yeah,
the
Camazotz,
abilities are
we thought it would be a
shit.
really cool time to experiment with some of these visibility things. Because he's a bat, it makes sense that he can only see certain things with his
I mean,
kind of
the
night
sustain-
vision,
alright.
sonar echolocation thing. Oh, yeah, look,
Sustain
you can't
could be
jungle with that ability,
crazy,
Pawn, 'cause you're
or
not
damage
leash
could be
range,
crazy,
they
or
will
both
use
could be
it.
crazy, and the god's gonna be good.
Pawn's
But
not
if
expert
numbers
jungler,
are
by the way.
standard like damage numbers,
This is how I clear
fucking,
kits.
Were there air quotes there?
I don't see how this god is
Every
gonna be
single
like
time. So
a
that's our
top
first
pick.
little look at Camazotz, and I mean, he looks fantastic for this game. We'll see how he ends up working out going forward. Is there any, anything extra you want to add to this you could think of that we've not mentioned yet?
I mean, he has a little
I think
extra
the
polish
ult's
features.
kinda
We
cool.
added some animations. Pawn, if you'll want to shoot somebody with a vampire bats, but then don't do any other attacks afterwards. Just shoot somebody with vampire bats.
Shoot.
And then keep walking. Keep walking. So when the bats come back to him, he actually he does a little animation. He acknowledges kind of that the bats are returning to him. If he's in combat, that'll just skip. But if he's out of combat, you'll see that. Also with the essence pools, if you're standing still and out of combat, he'll do a little like he'll put his face down in the ground and look like he's drinking it a little bit more as opposed to his normal stand. He kind of bends over and waves around a little bit to
Now,
show
even
that
though-
he's drinking faster.
Even though you can't see the pool, you can actually see the drinking animation going on there, so you know there's a pool there.
That, or you can see an Amazotz kind of WASDing around in a circle in the same
Gotcha.
spot and be like, oh, I
Yeah,
bet
he's
he's getting,
definitely
or
a
you can see him
massive
healing,
single
just
target
immediately poke him
assassin.
out of it.
I'm not saying he's not gonna work.
Now, he
It's
does have a
just,
voice pack
to me, the
as
kit.
all gods do, and he's also got a recolor skin, which we'll show you as well, because I believe you guys wanted to show that one off because you think it's really cool, the recolor.
First god I haven't been excited for
voice
in a
pack or
while.
recolor?
I mean, kind of excited because I could be wrong. I'm probably gonna be
pack,
wrong.
voice
But
pack,
we'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is so much power in you. Brutal. Feast your eyes upon a true death god. I am the night. The darker it gets, the greater advantage I have. I'm not that crazy.
What up, Bushy141? Thank you for the Twitch Prime
I'm
sub,
not the
bro.
assassin you deserve. I'm the assassin you need.
There it is.
Batman reference!
Yeah, the actor did a great job on this one, and then we put some crazy effects on his voice.
That laugh is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
The sustain is probably gonna be
He does
beast
some
mode,
great
and the
laughs
god's
on
gonna
this as
work.
well.
I'll cover
But
his
that
passive
is what's
meter
gonna
also
make
real
him
quick.
work.
Those glowing skulls on top of his head are the
Cheapsteak,
number
thank
of
you.
stacks you have from your 2.
Welcome back.
Okay.
So you notice 2 stacks. The one in the middle is still not lit. And the bat face there is telling you when you're in a combat and out. So when he's calmed down and there's no wings, that means you're out of combat and you'll drink faster.
Whoa.
And once
This
you
is
attack
what- this
somebody,
should be
you'll
one of
see
his
that
abilities,
passive meter
bro.
flare out upon super speeding across the map. So now he's in combat. That wakes up, and then we'll see the 3rd skull light up there.
Cool, and then the bat wings will go away
So that just
again.
helps
He's
you
out of
manage the essence in and out of combat and the stacks of your other ability.
Makes perfect sense. And not only that, we do have the other skin as well. Pompon, do you have that ready?
I will need to remember how to spell it.
What's cool? Good luck.
What's cool
Oh,
about that is
yeah.
that he's always got these little patterns on his skin, but with the recolor, it really brings them out.
So those like the whole rune
That-
tattoo, like that tattoo.
Yeah, that reminds me of another little extra feature we put in Camazotz that I forgot about, and that
Bats.
is when he has a stack of his buff from his 2, his tattoos glow brighter.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of inlaid in his skin, and they have kind of
I like that skin a
a
lot.
solid color. I love this recolor.
That's
buff.
good.
I'm going to be
That
playing
skin's
this
awesome.
a lot.
Yeah.
But once he gets that buff, you'll see those tattoos light up and have a
That's a
little
good
bit of
recolor.
movement in the lines.
I still
and
am
stuff
like
that.
stuck on
looks
trying to
badass.
figure
You
out
can
how
probably
this
show that
kid is
pretty
gonna
quickly.
work in a
Yeah,
real
sure.
game. I mean, you're gonna
Yeah, let's
pleb
super
stomp
speed
probably
over
with
to
the
it.
sustain, but
That's a lot of speed.
Gotta go fast.
Yes. Camazotz is not actually this mobile, all right?
Oh
You can
no,
hit-
they're still marked.
Oh, yeah, you need a new jungle camp. Who did you not hit yet?
I
like
think
I
I've
played
hit them
Mercury.
all.
Did you hit all of them and not kill them?
They're blue.
This is how fast Mercury should go, by the way.
There
Here we go, here we
changed
go.
it.
oh Mercury. Tattoos look the same. Oh, there we go.
There we go. We have got some extra movement inside those, or is it?
It might be at full.
Yeah.
No, we might not. We might still be working on this
yeah,
skin.
I don't
it might
know.
be actually not working on this one, on the recolor.
Well, we
It'll be
found
working by the time
Sure,
we
we'll
get
look
done
into that.
live. Yeah.
Chuck, you had one job.
It's not me this time.
And it wasn't this.
Yeah.
Chuck's been strategically not claiming credit all show, so he could not claim credit of this.
I like the I really do like the idea of the
minor
ult.
variable that needs to be fixed.
There's going to be
So
some
we'll
more
see what
questions about
happens.
him for sure, but he doesn't actually change the interaction
ult
with
would be
jungle buffs in
sick
any way.
if you
This
were
is
just
just an
bopping
additional
somebody
thing he
running
can
away.
stack on top of himself for some soft invades or just for his own jungle route. The buff lasts a very long time, so you have enough time for
That
the
leap
buffs
is
to
poop.
respawn, so you can actually stack it over multiple
That
jungle
leap
rotations.
is
It's
gonna
really useful
get
too, 'cause
buffed,
sometimes you don't want to, as a jungler, you don't wanna
or
soak
this
every
guy
single
won't get
camp
played.
up and have to kill the camp to be able to get that buff. So being able to just throw out your bats and get that is useful, but maybe stronger at the same time. So it could
Like
play
he
with
has
both
no way to
ways.
The
catch
trickiest thing with
anybody.
this is talking your allies into not killing the camp before
No
you get
escape.
there, because they get antsy and they love to do it.
That's a good point as well. Just to speed up the rotations. So it's going to be very fast in the jungle as that bat. But it's time for Q&A section now. Favorite thing
If
about the
Leap
patch?
was
right, we're gonna
further,
make Q&A
yeah,
questions.
it
Are you
would
ready?
be
Fishman,
a
for
lot
you,
more
what's your favorite
interesting.
thing in the patch?
All right, we're gonna mute them because they're doing Q&A and we're done with them. So with this god, to me, he has no way to start a fight and no way to get out of a fight. They even said his ult, while it looks like it's really fast, you can actually catch up to somebody, like him ulting away. So that makes me think he has zero mobility. Like his mobility is about as minimal as possible, other than the fact that he can float in the air for 3 seconds. Kind of like a Freya without ranged attacks. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not first hearing it, I feel like poop, bad god, bad, needs buffs or needs some changes, but it could go on live and it could be amazing with sustaining and just stand in a fight and auto attack somebody to death. I don't know. We're gonna find out when PTS goes live. I think they said Friday. I'm pretty sure they said Friday, so we'll be playing Friday. Scylla will probably start getting played again because the buffs are pretty nice. The scaling is sick. The item changes weren't huge. You might see that one fucking item. Gem of ISO picked up a little bit because that's more power. I don't know. And Susano's gone. Imagine Susano just got fucking erased from the game because Susano's gonna suck. Susano's gonna be absolute shit. They shits. Just shits. So we got one assassin removed from the game basically, and then this one being put in. We'll see what happens. I am gonna go and I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go take a break and hang out with my girlfriend because I streamed earlier and I'm gonna be streaming tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to hang out, come to stream at 10 p.m. I'll be on after scrims like always. Have a good evening. Until then, guys. Is insane with the Twitch Prime sub as we're getting off. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys. I will see you in a few hours.